G'day viewers, we have the grand final of the Presence of Mind Store Championship. It's come down to the second game of the finals. Stuart has come up from the lower bracket to face Sam, and he's playing Reina up against the mighty Near Earth Hub. How you doing, Stuart?
Good. Thanks for having me here, guys.
No worries, and I've got Andrew with me as always. How you doing, Andrew?
Good, thanks, Alex. Howdy, viewers and listeners out there.
Near Earth Hub straight into it, doing what it does, installing
Wow.
remotes, and straight back to Stu. So, how you feeling with this Reina deck? It's obviously got you this far.
It was my better deck on the day, but I had spent a lot of time testing
Oh,
this deck,
bang.
so I was
That's
tuned.
like,
Wow. And
Yes.
that's going to hurt.
with a naked HQ, that's
There's time to account siphon.
resing the pad just to mitigate the damage, but happy to take the 3 credits away from Near Earth Hub.
Well, part of my deck design was to maintain control of them, not just through other methods, but ensuring their economy is low as possible. So I took credits regardless of what it was.
And Raina's natural ability ties into that very well.
It did help a lot over the course of the day. Made sure people couldn't res key ice when they needed to.
It's an interesting choice on floating tags. How did that work out?
I was very nervous about doing it at first because the meta has a lot of Blue Sun in it, a lot of Wayland
Mm-hmm.
decks, especially
Oh,
after the box
yeah, it
set.
does.
But I'm an extremely aggressive player, so to actually slow down, put down Plascretes or remove tags, I'm actually not playing with Plascretes, and I can hear everybody gasping at the lunacy of that. It just doesn't suit my style. But during the course of the day, nobody scorched me. Nobody killed me.
And you've seen
Though a
this,
few
you've
people,
seen Sam's deck previously in the
Yeah.
Swiss, and you knew it's a dedicated response, and still with the same
I
aggression.
have,
It's impressive.
though when
So what's
I
the game
first
plan
saw,
against dedicated response near pad decks, I believe they call
well, I've had worse. Really does give you that kind of quasi Plascrete protection against decks that you know are going to scorch you or do any type of retaliatory damage. You just hold them in hand.
Gives you a lot of confidence just to keep attacking,
It
really.
does.
Yeah.
So your style of deck there is a control deck. How do you anticipate controlling this game?
Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of his cash. The deck is a Keyhole Eater deck with a few of the Cutlery Ice Destruction cards to ensure I'm breaking a hole, tied in with a couple of Wanton Destructions, Count
Of
Siphons,
course, why
Planned
not?
Assaults Planned Assaults to get everything that I need.
Bland Assault. That's an interesting
Yep.
choice there.
Well,
How did that work out for the day?
it was a fantastic card. Thank you for suggesting it, Andrew. You helped me with playtesting of the deck. Dropped an account
Props to
siphon for 2 of
myself
them.
there. Yeah.
It was.
Well, we
It
come
has
from
just allowed me to
that
get what I needed.
Magic the Gathering background, and we always value tutors heavily.
Oh, yes.
Andrew
Yeah,
helped you just enough to knock
beat
Andrew
me.
out. It's good.
I remember
Yes,
seeing
I
that planned
did
assault.
actually knock you out. Sorry about that.
No, it happens. You took control of that game. You floated tags against my Blue Sun, even though I had 2 Scorched in hand. I've had worse saved you, and then you bit by bit took my deck apart with Keyhole. So there was
Yeah.
nothing left. You did what a control deck does in Magic. You boxed me into a corner.
Just knocking out that quandary to get that keyhole into action and
Nice.
dumping the
Yeah.
dedicated response straight in the bin. You got to feel happy about that.
I mean, that's one of the primary cards I want to see. That and Jackson are my first targets against him because that'll shut his deck down.
And Astro second. So
Wow.
everything coming up,
Astro.
Stu.
Yeah. But this deck, I would need to talk to Sam whether it relies on, flatline as much as it does on scoring.
So going
Yeah.
for the keyhole again rather than picking up the Astro. Just keen to keep getting the keyhole while you can, I guess.
Very much so. It's at the same time leaving that the early agenda in there, I know he doesn't have a Jackson on the table, even though there's just a threat he could put it down, means that he's got to make that choice of putting some ice down in front of archives, which gives me something to run and him having to pay for it and res it with Reina hitting his economy. And if I need to, I will just go back and destroy the ice later to get through if I have to. So I'm not overly worried. I am also playing Hades Shard, just in case.
Of course, yeah. Eat a keyhole. Hades Shard is the obvious use of the 1 point of influence.
So, time to check some more ice there, or is the economy too low? Jack, what a great card.
Injecting, getting a prepaid, another prepaid, and a deja vu. Wonderful inject. That card is just polarizing, I think, inject. Like sometimes it just burns you, and sometimes it just like there, it was a dream come true.
I think
I took that into consideration. And Enarchs have the greatest way to recover from it. Retrieval runs in my deck to just mitigate any losses from it. Deja Vu can quite easily get everything back. I didn't have the influence for clone chips.
Not with all those accounts, though.
Oh, of course.
But my deck does run off about 24, 25 events. So the prepaid, seeing 2 of them early on, that's vital economy right there. That just sets my whole game up.
So things are definitely rolling. Oh, and there's a key card.
That's a nice one.
If you're going to float tags, you really don't want to see close.
In fact, having seen most of his deck previously in the Swiss rounds, I didn't actually know he had that card in his deck. So he must have only had one of, maybe. But I was glad to see it. That's for sure.
That can change the outcome.
I think that's a wraparound on R&D. Well, it hasn't been res yet, but I think that's what it was.
I think from memory, he actually had a Lotus Field on R&D at some stage.
Yep. And how did you deal with wraparound?
Well, I do have a Corroder in deck for wraparound. I actually have a special order in my deck as well to ensure that I get that. Yep, Tutor's invaluable because I've also got a Mimic as well for obviously Swordsman and a few of the other nasty sentries.
That is a Lotus.
That's the Lotus Field, okay.
Yes. So code gates were actually a little bit of my weakness. Lotus Field, pain to get through, so is Toll Booth. But
wow.
And a bold play. Astro out on the table. Hello. He was bluffing it out, hoping you wouldn't spend all your clicks checking.
Running the archives and picking up the other one.
I figured at this stage I better go get the other one. If he had a Jackson in hand, he was definitely going to play it next turn.
So that really takes away his ability to chain those Astros, given that there's only one possible Astro left. So the win conditions for the court are slipping away.
Windows closing, you're boxing them slowly, bit by bit, into that corner.
I'm also actually checking all of his servers. Something I didn't do in our first game against him. Made this conscious effort in this game to make sure that I...
Who won that first game in the Swiss when you saw each other's decks for the first time?
I'd have to actually go back and remember. I honestly can't remember. I do know that he did dedicated response team me when I went to go fish agendas I keyholed out of the server for 6 points of damage. But I had two I've had worses in my hand and survived it. I can't remember if I won the game after that or whether he managed to kill me later, but I'm pretty sure I might have won it.
Okay. So seeing the deck and knowing what to expect really helps define your strategy for this game, and you're handling it a lot better than the first time.
So I'm really running just to see if I can find the dedicated response teams and kill them.
Yep.
If I can get rid of them and any other tag punishment, I'm pretty sure I can just control the rest of the game.
I think so.
A snare and a couple of dedicated responses, that's game over. So definitely
that is something I was very conscious of.
If you can take away the Astro Train and take away the Flatline, then he's really just down to trying to score naked agendas, which is a very difficult way to win.
There's some poker bluffing there for that to work.
There is. As you can see, Sam going off the screen already. He does put a lot of stuff on the table.
Yeah, he's got the economy from the pad trickling in.
He's also playing diversified accounts, and at this stage, I think 6 or 7 credits from each one.
Yeah, you can
It
almost
was.
chain 2 hedge funds together for one click. Good card in this style of bet.
Drawing a Beal. And too good to be true. A couple of agendas in his hand.
Yeah, by actually floating the tag, you sort of pulled the teeth of a lot of his tag giving things. They're sort of useless now. A lot of people desperately try and avoid the tags at all costs. That slows them down. Very expensive. By embracing the tag, you've actually sort of helped speed yourself up.
So the combo's online. Eat a keyhole. And this will...
And you also enabling account siphon and wanton destruction if I want to do that.
Who doesn't want to wanton destruction? What a great new card that is.
That was a fantastic card. I only had 2 in the deck. It was all I could reasonably fit in, and it's all I actually needed during the course of the day. Every time I did it, I only ever clicked a full turn, so 3 cards out of their hand, but it was enough to just put the tempo again back into my favor and really disrupt their plans.
So with keyhole and wanton destruction, those encryption protocols are nowhere near as harmful as they are against the other runners. You can still trash things other ways.
Yeah, you can empty the hand out there. Definitely. Any nasty hands or any agendas.
Hitting with another keyhole, and let's see if we can catch what. Nope, I couldn't catch that one.
But combo slowly beginning the great dismantling of the other opponent's deck.
I expect we'll see a lot more of Vita Keyhole over coming tournaments.
Definitely something to be aware of now. Designing the corporate deck and how you answer it.
Crisium Grid has suddenly gotten a lot more powerful, that's for sure, and was quite annoying across the day. You have to take that in. If you're running Need a Keyhole, take into account that you have to have a way to get rid of Crisium Grid.
So Neareth Hub continuing to go horizontally. A lot of remotes there, Stu. You're thinking about checking them all out?
I know I have to check them at some stage. I'm worried about the snare. I want to get his economy rein back in because I really don't want to hit a snare. And
snare dedicated response team, right?
Yeah, especially if he has those out.
You've got one of them in the bin, at least at this point, I think. So
I do, yes. I've keyholed one.
Sniff the others out.
If I can get 2 gone, then I feel relatively safe. And that's the good thing about my deck is once I get kind of the Eater Keyhole and maybe the required breakers online,
you found it. There it is. The dedicated response
there it
team.
is.
Well played. Well picked.
So it'll cost you a few
6
credits, but
well spent.
That's what you've got to pay. It takes one of the corp's possibilities of winning out of the game and immediately scoring again, putting up to match point and
reversed accounts there. Yeah, you may have already seen that card before. The memory game.
And the one you didn't hit was the snare, so everything going right.
It's good to have a little bit of luck as well.
Wow. Beautiful. You just danced past the snare.
So snare into dedicated response, that would have been messy, I think. 3, 4, 5 damage, but you've got I've had worse in hand, so still survivable. But
I'm trying to keep my hand size up as well to make sure that I don't get pinged by it.
A reverse accounts triggered.
Yep.
He's got money and you don't. So, yeah.
But I do have pad campaigns and a day job.
Prepaids, yes.
Yes, prepaid, sorry.
Instantly leaping up credit.
second pad going online. So some nice trickle economy for the near Earth hub. Usually once they've got one Astro scored, all they need is a small trickle, but you denying those Astros to the Corp has been big.
Yeah, the Astro chain, the threat no matter what. As long as they've got 2 pad campaigns up. You just needed to score that first one, and I really respect that. Bluff.
Yeah, that was a high risk, but yeah, it didn't quite pay off.
High risk, high reward. Stu's called him on everything. Except the snare. Maybe the only card you haven't checked. Can't go wrong. What are you doing there? Just checking your graveyard. Sorry, your heap. Sorry,
Yep.
magic term there, everybody. Just roll with it.
I do this a lot during the day simply because I'm running 3 deja vus, getting the things back that I need. I'd like to see. I'm also pretty tired, so I'm forgetting exactly what I played. I want to see what I've got in there, what's left in my deck.
Yeah, fatigue's a big factor, and it's been a while since you played in a long tournament. Did it affect
Yeah,
you
this
at
is the
all?
longest tournament I've played in years.
Did you prepare for it, or did you just power on through,
Deja vu
running on
Pretty much.
adrenaline?
for account siphon. Yeah, okay, sorry.
I'll answer that in a moment. We'll see what he does.
Looking at resing a toll booth.
I'm going against 2 ice, so I'm looking at it that either he's going to res cheap ice and I'm going to eat it through, or he's going to res something big and I get rid of his economy anyway.
So yeah, made him broke one way or another.
Yeah, so it wasn't a wasted account siphon. It was exactly what I wanted. 9 credits off him. He's actually better than me actually getting credits back.
Yeah, it's 9 for 3. You're happy. Little do you know that the hand is becoming flooded with agendas, but
Seeing the pad.
since you're in control of the game, the old pad res, no, denied. Not enough money.
Because he only had 1 credit left, which I
Yes, of
forgot about.
course,
Of
and they
course.
trigger.
After the pad triggers, so couldn't get that running quite yet. No, I'd love to have that toll booth on R&D really, rather than the hand. I think you just eat the siphon and rely on that trickle economy. Yeah, I think he still
Yeah.
has a small chance if you can cut that keyhole down.
It would have definitely slowed me down. I would have had to have tried to either find the plain assault or the spoon in my deck
Yeah,
and kill that top booth. I have to get rid of it if it's on R&D.
Yeah, it's just one of those pieces of advice where you cannot go through it too many times. Either will cost a ridiculous amount of money, like most breakers. But they are still a dominant force. It's obviously why so many decks pack Fem. Oh, an elegant solution. There it is again. Or is that a new one?
I'm pretty sure I've probably run that server 2 or 3 times by now. I was pretty tired.
City's Valence. Interesting choice. I'm not 100% sold on that card. I'm sure there's a better card you could have in that slot.
It could have been a good choice. Nobody wants to take tags, especially in this environment at the moment, but against me, it's useless. I've already got 6 tags and I'm really not caring at this stage.
Yeah. You really have to decide early. Am I going to take all these tags and then check the dedicated, so clear the tags as I go and sort of beat the deck that way?
getting rid of the quandary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second quandary, parasited.
All 3 pads running.
That's some serious economy.
Yes, it's very annoying at this stage. So right now, I'm not worried about him actually scoring and winning. I'm more worried that I'm going to kill myself somehow. So I'm trying to limit the amount of ways he can do that to me as best as I can.
Doesn't have enough money, but if you had more cash, maybe a double air and remaining dedicated response team as a Hail Mary. Unlikely packing.
Looking for a credit, and playing.
If I'm looking through my deck after playing an event, must have been Planned Assault
Planned
for
assault
Spoon.
for Spoon. Okay. Just trying to get rid of that Lotus Field.
There it is, a wraparound Lotus Field. Two
So,
really expensive.
yeah. I was hoping he'd put a pop-up window down there, but
6 to
the
break.
worst case.
Wraparound with Eater. Ouch.
Them's the breaks.
That is great. You are just enough money. Wow, that's close.
Which is actually why I did click for credits, because I assume worst case scenario, wraparound, I'm going to take it.
Very, yeah, well planned with a planned assault.
Wasn't my first choice, but I'm trusting in my economy to bounce back. The prepaids are
Sam
out.
has got you poor. If there's ever a scoring window, it's when the corporation, when the runner has no money. Man. You on match point though certainly makes any agenda nakedly placed into a mode there really worth it. Oh, comes down.
So Sam, knowing the game is in R&D and just trying to slow down that Eater Keyhole win that just seems so inevitable.
Must be praying for a Jackson now, getting those dedicateds back, back on fire. Haven't seen Jackson yet, have we?
I did think I keyholed one or two of them. I had very good keyholes most of the day, getting what I needed when I needed.
You sure did against me. Seeing Jackson go like that. Big Oh, remote's off the screen. Oh, well done. It looks like you pulled it in there. Oh, there we go. Advanced remote.
Advanced remote. So
With a piece of ice.
And you only on the 3 credits, but then prepaid into Short Gamble, you go straight up. And then you've got 9, so.
Kind of a powerhouse of economy, the old prepaid.
Very strong, though. Greatness deck all day long. So I'm thinking pretty much here that he's trying to sneak an agenda through behind a piece of ice that I can't break.
Yeah,
obviously, Eda's not going to allow me to access, so this is not good. I'm going to go check the ice anyway.
Information overload, so very dangerous piece. If you can't break it, your rig's in trouble because that trashes 1 installed card for every tag, and you've got
at
4
least
tags. So I
got 6 tags.
6 tags now.
Plus.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my whole rig's going. Unless I Eda it, but I'm thinking, well, I really want to access the card, but it might.
But do I?
Yeah.
Do I? Yes, exactly.
You've seen both 2 of the reversed accounts, so you're confident that it's probably an agenda, I guess.
Reversed accounts here would just be the icing.
That would be, but
it would have been a great move, but I know it's not.
Yeah.
It's the MAPD.
So, and Sam completely flooded there. So
Congratulations.
Stu. All right,
Thank you.
latest
Brilliantly played.
store champion. Well done, Stu.
Tour Championship. So you've got a full strength buy into the regional tournament, although you will be attending other Tour Championships.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to practice a lot more now if I'm going to attend the regionals. So
Yeah, someone has to give Alex a run for his money.
Oh, thanks,
I look forward to
guys.
playing you guys again.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. Great match. Thanks for joining us. This is Andrew, Stuart, and Alex signing off. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you all.